Hey everybody, it's your pal Drew again. I'm still recovering from my oral surgery. The side of my mouth where the extracted tooth is a little puffy, but I'm taking ibuprofen as prescribed. And I just felt like doing a video. I have a big backlog on subject matter that I want to do on this channel. So, and it's also fun. And you know what? I don't take viewers for granted. I so appreciate time that you spend with me because there's so many choices out there that you could find, and more professional ones to be sure, and you choose to spend time with me, and I never take that for granted. I'm so grateful. And anytime you have comments down below, I never delete them, and I can be corrected or disagreed or whatever, and I'm not gonna get in a pissing match because this is fun. We're all fans. I mean, I've been working as a comic professional for years, but I still have fanboy blood in my veins since I was about 7 or something like that. So, because comics are spiffy. So, I did an episode on why the Inhumans failed, and it was a real drag. Mostly, it got cut off like a lot of books when they went to 30 cents. And the pedigree of the Inhumans series was phenomenal. I mean, you had Doug Mensch writing the whole thing, George Perez, Gil Kane, and Keith Pollard. And when the book got canceled, it crushed me. I was like, I just love this comic. And it's funny the things you remember. Like, I remember getting... was it this issue? Or was it this issue? It might have been this issue. I remember getting this at the hospital. There was my dad went in for some back surgery, and they had, at the gift shop, they only had like a couple comics, and this was one of them. And I reread it over and over again, and got some glorious Gil Kane stuff going on. So, anyway, I'm jumping ahead. Don Perlin inking Gil Kane is really nice. Don Perlin just really came... To me, he came out of nowhere. I mean, he was already a professional, but I didn't know. He worked for the publications. So we had George Perez, Don Perlin, Doug Mensch, and there's these weird beetle-type creatures that... it's a long story. It has to do with water. They want to steal water and all that stuff, and... There's two warring... wait a second. There's like this beetle battle. That's kind of cool. I know I'm getting off track, but I just wanted to share it. Oh, screw it. I'm getting off track. Anyway. So there's a flood in the vehicle that they're in. Lockjaw shows up. And this is so... Like my one dog, Sonny. He's like... very much like this. Yeah, not so sloppy, a big, lovable, goofy pooch. You're getting my hair wet. I won't be able to do a thing with... So that was a common phrase that was used for shampoo or where they said, your hair, you can't do anything with it? Well, try this, your Purell, whatever. So here's where we first learn of the War of the Three Galaxies. This is Falzon. He's an elderly Kree guy who came to Earth for help because his people were starting a war. And here's the thing, I didn't know that the Krees and the Skrulls were in different galaxies. I mean, I kind of thought they were near each other. And then Earth was on the third galaxy. I didn't think they were that far apart. I mean, I know logistically, but the way people come and go from those three galaxies, I thought they'd be a lot closer. So Falzon, which is a great name. When I was still a member of the Kree Homeworld Council, I heard of the desolation planet on which mobile cities aimlessly roamed. It was located strategically for the Kree and the approaching war between the three galaxies, but it was divided into factions, supporting and opposing alliance to the Kree, and perhaps ... This is the planet. So, these little critters are so cool. And here's what I like too. It's like Black Bolt was basically like a superhero. And I guess that's why I like, because they made him... here comes Warcon. I love his design too. I mean, what's cool about Perez is he'd show up anywhere. I mean, we didn't have previews. We didn't know, and I guess it's because there weren't royalties at the time, and it does truly suck. But as a fanboy kid, I liked him showing up on Marvel 2-in-1 and whatever. I gotta find out this Kree stuff going on. Whoop, everybody. Let me see. Oh, it is as you feared, Warcon. The one named Falzon is a purebred Kree, and the other three originated from the mutated strain of Kree-oriented genes. Conclusion: all four are enemies and will be, of course, be executed at your convenience. Now, wait a minute here. If you've got a good reason to hate the Kree, I assure you it's nothing compared to the reason we've got. And just basic stuff. Oh. Yes, we were spawned by the Kree, but as biological mutations as a crop of freaks to be used as cannon fodder for the war between the three galaxies. We oppose the Kree with every bit of rage in our hearts, and so does Falzon here, who is a true Kree, but he risked his life and became a hunted fugitive. Must warn us about, hey, what are you doing? So they checked the cerebral monitor systems to show that she was telling the truth. So they released them. Let's see. Now tell me, what are you doing here? Fleeing the Kree and searching for a peaceful world on which our race could settle. Well, you have found a peaceful world, relatively thinking, indeed, and most peaceful world in all the known galaxies. Huh? You call this purple dust ball peaceful? We've been here less than a day, and we've already been in 4 fights. So Medusa's just like smacking him around with some logic. Let me see. Kree Galaxies. Okay. So that's the first mention of the war of the 3 galaxies. And it's kind of just sloughed off, and it's not really followed up much. Boy, oh boy. Love that Perez. Here's Keith Pollard kicking some major ass. God, he's great. I'd like to see him come back and do more comic stuff. He did Fantastic Four in the late 80s. He returned, and he did the famous Hulk Thing battle where the Thing had the pineapple shape, but he was stronger than the Gray Hulk, who had the original strength from issue 1. Long story. Peter David wrote it, and it kicked ass. It was Keith Pollard did the FF part, and Jeff Purves did the other part. Really good stuff. So they're fighting, and Gorgon says, "Yes, and don't think for a moment Yes, and don't think I'm not enjoying this moment. It's our first chance for a small taste of revenge on the Kree, a race that was created us for freaks to be used as cannon fodder in their self-serving war between the 3 galaxies." So there you get another mention. And so this is a great character. It was supposed to be the Kree sent this beam throughout the galaxies to create a warrior on Earth, and it hit a cockroach, which is really cool. Let me get to it right here. This is Jim Mooney on the inks. I'm not that. I like him on some characters, but yeah, so they wanted that. But. Something done screwed up. So, hits a cockroach. And that is a badass design. That is badass, man. So, Gorgon, they're at a concert. Gorgon's at, he's tapping his feet, causing a Madison Square Garden to fall. What a knucklehead. So there's no more mention of the Kree War of the 3 Galaxies. The last issue of the Inhumans. And if you look at the Hulk's teeth, it says Alan Milgram. That's great. Well, Medusa goes up a building using her hair to talk to Fantastic Four and kind of say, hey, there's stuff going on. But turns out they had broken up at this time, I think. I'm not sure. But I've never seen her do this before. She makes her hair a parachute, which is just, that's a great idea. And there's, whoops. It's funny over the years how Medusa has addressed Black Bolt. It's always been like, my liege, love lord / cousin, or something like that. I mean, early on they didn't know how to do they weren't sure who was related. At least the writers didn't. So, well, anyway, since the FF aren't around, the Inhumans decide to go to the UN. And Medusa's leading because she's had more experience on, in the Western civilization. So, officer, listen to me. Black Bolt is only trying to get your attention. We've come to warn you about the war between 3 galaxies. Earth may soon be conquered by the... You with the guy on the lamppost? Yes, officer. You don't understand. You're under arrest, lady. No, you've got to listen to us. All right, fish face, halt right where you are. Don't try anything stupid. And we don't mean maybe. So, wham. And the Hulk changes. Bruce Banner just happens to be there, wearing purple pants. And this was sort of an ongoing joke over the years. Once in a while, there'd be mention of his purple pants. And I always thought that was really weird that he'd be walking around with purple pants, because that's not what you would call what do you call camouflaging, or in plain sight. But later on, I figured out that as a marketing tool to keep him on model, you would have him green and the purple pants, whether it's stickers or T-shirts or whatever. It was on model, but it was only many years later that they decided, hey, give this guy blue jeans or something. So, well, at the end, they stop the Hulk. Let me see. And I just wanted to show you the ending of this. He gets zapped, and then he wakes up, and he's like, see, Hulk are really your friends. He goes, the police aren't as smart as you are, Hulk. But that doesn't mean we should hurt them, or we can't be friends, don't you see? Hulk starts to feel better. You agreed, too? You say you were Hulk's friend, then maybe Hulk will not smash. And he's like, I feel better. Hulk than making enemies. He is such a sap. How many times has he gotten the friendship thing only to get screwed over? But, this was a happy ending. So, in fact, let me go back a second. Sorry about that. Whoop. Yeah, it goes to Captain Marvel. Yeah, to be continued in the pulse-pounding pages of Captain Marvel. So, we've heard about the War of 3 Galaxies. We know nothing about specifics other than it's the Krees versus the Skrulls and Earth, our galaxy. Let's see. I gotta move this can of water because I don't want to spill it all over these. So we go into Captain Marvel. If they've made Ms. Marvel into Captain Marvel, I think they should do another series called Captain Marvel with the hyphen in the middle. And it'd be interesting to see how that, I would buy it. This is Scott Edelman, who he wrote this briefly. He didn't really have a big career in comics, but I always kind of liked what he did. But he did very few comics, and he was solid. So I don't know why. He might have found some other vocation that he preferred. So, and Terry Austin totally kicking ass on Al Milgrom. And to me, Milgrom is very much subject to who inks him. If he inks himself, it's not that great. So, la 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 la, like this. That's sweet. Dr. Minerva. So this guy, he gets teleported out because Captain Marvel hits a machine, causes it. Hear me, you fool, before the waning power silences my voice. There's a war going on, a war between the 3 galaxies, a war that will threaten to swallow the entire Kree Empire, which cannot be won without you. And, well, let's show the cover to the next issue. And Man, it must have taken Gil Kane like 10 minutes to do that, because he's such a master at figures that he didn't have to do any background. But man, oh man, that's one of my regrets. I never got to ink Gil Kane, because he's so masterful. Look at the muscles in that leg. Just great stuff. Well, here you go. We got Milgram penciling with Terry Austin and Bob Wyacek. And he meets the Inhumans, I think for the first time. And Dr. Minerva, who is a Kree, she goes, "Hello, Falzon." Falzon is an ex-member of the Kree's Supreme Science Council. "What are you doing on Earth?" Blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's not bullshit, blah, blah, blah. It's more, they're assuming that you haven't read the previous issues. Oh, here we go. I just caught the... Dr. Minerva says, "Foolish Marvel, why did you save me? I would have been a greater threat to you than Fedor was. It would have been simpler to have left me die in the rubble." No, it wasn't. No, it wouldn't have been, for only you can tell me more about what Fedor referred to as the War of the Three Galaxies. So... And flashback. Oh, yeah, that is really nice. Really nice stuff. Milgram really did deliver, and so did Terry. But how can we hope that face down the combined might of two galactic armies? Perhaps we won't, Falzon. If the Supreme Council is steering the Kree Empire into war, then it is the Science Council we must confront on Hala, or Hala. That's really cool there. Oh, hang on. It looks like Milgram was trying to tap into a little bit of Gil Kane there. Really nice. So, they show up. I'm blanking out on the planet they're on. Oh, Hala. I just said that. So, I'll blame my empty tooth for that mistake. So, Councilman, unidentified bolt of energy is heading towards us, shattering our every defense. What should we do? And, before they can do anything, it's Mar-Vell and Black Bolt. Why the sudden thoughtlessness dash to destruction and insane war? Why do you seek to drag the Inhumans and myself to hell along with you? The Council need not explain its policy to a traitor, Mar-Vell. So, fun. When I knew you long ago, you seemed like a rational and honorable man, Fedor. What madness drives you now? Why do you and the other councilmen thirst for blood? Turncoat, blah, 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 blah. What right have you to question our wisdom? We are convinced that the time is right to end the Skrull threat forever. So, hang on. He's like, for the good of the Kree, and Captain Marvel says, "I am the protector of the universe," which he is, from the character named Eon. And he gets that cosmic awareness going. Always cool. Jim Starlin started that. Both the cosmic awareness and the way it looks. The Dragon Black Bolt. I don't know how they defeated him, but they did. Who knows? And Mar-Vell kicks ass. And what's kind of weird is Al Milgram follows the same progression, slightly different, but it's just kind of odd, So, he's diving for Poor Bat. I love that name, Poor Bat. Oh, that poor Bat. So, but it's too late, Mar-Vell, for this button will irrevocably begin our war with the Skrulls. Only if you can press it. Poor Bat. He tosses the guy into the truth chair where Mar-Vell was subjected to back in issue 38. It's sort of a torture device. You were starting this war for the good of Kree, Fedor? Look at he who would have had made you destroy us all. And he's a Skrull. I admit it, I was planted here years ago, specially conditioned to defy the most sophisticated Kree screening procedures. I am a Skrull. Ha, fools, poor Matt was just a Skrull. Imposter, placed upon the council to spur you into a battle you could not win. The Skrull were lying in wait for you, ready to wipe you out in a cosmic rout. Okay, cancel all battle plans, abandon Earth sabotage project, recall the pursuer. The war is over. It's not fun anymore. So, he goes, the Kree Skrull hatred will never die. We shall return to our Cold War for the moment, but when it takes 10 centuries, or 10 years or 10 centuries, the Skrulls will eventually be crushed by the Kree Empire. Wrong, Fedor. For a war will only destroy both the Skrull and the Kree, whenever it occurs. And they go, da-da-da-da-da-da. They just leave. Captain Marvel and Black Bolt leave the chamber of the Kree Supreme Science Council, having averted the War of 3 Galaxies for now. And that's it. It's like, come on, man. I just remember when I bought this, when it came out, and I was like, that's the ending. It was like empty calories, and I just really was disappointed. It was just off. It's like, why build something up so big, and all you do is you have Kree fighting among themselves, and Black Bolt being basically a guest star who's just kind of hanging out, and then you find out it's a Skrull. It's kind of a simple giveaway there, and it's a major fail, and it's still a major fail. I still love these comics, but kind of that's the way it went. And anyway, thanks again for watching, and thanks for your patience while I had my dental surgery, my oral surgery, and I'll get part 2 done, I don't know, in a week or 2 or something like that. I gotta look at my calendar of events. And I do commissions as well, and if you would like to have one done, I'm never prepared with my stuff. So this is a pencil and ink job I did of Iron Man from Iron City, and this is